Hey guys, JamesMCD Reviews here, and welcome to the final video of 2025. We've taken a look at the worst, now it's time for the best, the top 10 best movies of 2025. In case you guys missed the last video, be sure to check out my top 10 worst of 2025, or any of the top 10 best and worst videos from the previous years. But for those who are new, just keep in mind a few things. Number one, this is not the scientifically accurate, definitive best of the year list. Your list may be different from my list. Please leave your list down in the comments, because I really love reading through what you guys have to say and comparing. To that same note, there's a lot of movies that I did not get a chance to see this year before the cutoff date for this video. There's still some movies that I'm missing that I gotta watch, so if you think something is missing from the list, let me know that down in the comments. I've probably already caught up on it by then. But still, just let me know. Now, normally this would be the part where I tell you guys the honorable mention, basically the 11th spot on this top 10 list. But, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in MCD Reviews history,
a rookie has won the Piston Cup.
Yes! We have a three-way tie.
Oh, hey, McQueen. That must be really embarrassing, but I wouldn't worry about it, because I didn't do it!
Begonia, The Monkey, and Eternity were all movies that got pretty mixed reviews from critics and fans. Personally, I really enjoyed all of them, but for one reason or another, they weren't quite good enough to make the top 10. That being said, I'd still highly recommend checking all three of these out and letting me know what you thought of them. Alright, with all that stuff out of the way, here we go, the top 10 best movies of 2025. K-pop Demon Hunters and Ninja 2. I know, not even 2 entries in and we already have 2 ties. Look, it's my list, there were too many great movies that I wanted to talk about, and these were among some of the best. Ninja 2 came out of nowhere and absolutely crushed the international box office early on in the year. And while it's a shame that the English re-release was kind of rushed and didn't keep up that momentum, you can't deny how impressive and awesome this movie was. The animation looked incredible, the fight scenes were so well done, the characters were so much more layered and interesting, and the story was genuinely kind of gripping. It's actually been a really damn good year for international animation, with so many anime films coming out to rave reviews and high box office. It's cool to see this stuff doing well, so that hopefully we get more international stuff in wider release. But of course, the movie that took over the entire planet this year was K-pop Demon Hunters, and while you could argue it's been a bit overplayed, the movie was so good and so well crafted that I could honestly care less. I guess this is how Sony operates. For every emoji movie, they make a Spider-Verse. They released K-pop Demon Hunters, so they had to put Fixed out to balance out the universe. But anyway, you all know why this movie slaps. You've all seen it several hundred times, you're still listening to the songs, you're still digesting every little bit of the universe and coming up with theories on what the sequel will be about, so there's no point in rehashing any of that here. Bottom line, in an age where animation isn't as respected, animation teams are treated like shit, and AI slop is on the rise, both these movies showed the world and the movie industry Weapons. Zach Kreger is 2 for 2. Technically 3 for 3 if you count Companions, which he was a producer on. But between Barbarian and now Weapons, I'm very excited to see what this guy does next. I will say, much like Barbarian, Weapons took a bit to get going, but when it does, it just keeps getting better and better. The way each character's perspective reveals a piece of the puzzle makes the story so interesting. The characters themselves are all layered and engaging to watch. The actors all do great, the movie is tense, but also surprisingly funny. Definitely one of the creepiest horror villains in a while. Like I said, very fast, Zach Kreger is becoming one of the most interesting directors out there, and I'm very curious to see what he does with Resident Evil. The Long Walk. 2025 has been a pretty great year for Stephen King projects, and The Long Walk, hands down, has to be the best. It's very much a journey over destination type movie where if you look at the trailer or hear a synopsis, you could probably guess how the movie will play out. But when you're actually watching the movie and being brought into this incredibly brutal and unrelenting world, you don't know what the hell is gonna happen. The movie gives off a very creepy, unsettling vibe and atmosphere. The characters are all super engaging, and you feel genuinely bad when something happens to them. The movie builds tension really well, the acting is great across the board. It was just a really stressful sit, and it's even more so since we're probably not that far off from this contest actually existing. But yeah, I would highly recommend checking this one out. 28 years later. I know this movie didn't quite gel with everyone, and I understand why, but I freaking loved it. I loved the way it subverted itself, I loved the risks it took. Even some of the stuff that felt a bit off or didn't quite work, I still respect it for being different. The action was great, the editing and cinematography was very slick and high energy while still maintaining the grittiness of the first movie. When it slows down and becomes more tense, it's still really chilling. The acting is top-notch, the effects look great, the emotions are very effective, and the things it sets up for the sequel gets me very curious to see it. Like I said, I can see how it wouldn't work for some people, but I really liked it. One battle after another. I'm gonna go ahead and add Parent-Teacher Association to the list of directors whose work I need to watch more of. I didn't really care too much for Licorice Pizza, but I really liked this. The acting is fantastic, not just from the big names like DiCaprio and Del Toro, but from fellow Columbia student Chase Infinity. She absolutely crushed it. It has a very good sense of humor while still being fairly dramatic. It's a very simple story about a father trying to rescue his daughter, but it also does well commenting on political extremism, both positive and negative, without feeling preachy. It never lets the message hijack the weight of the story. My only criticism is that it could have been a bit tighter, but other than that, I really enjoyed it. Superman. Probably the biggest sigh of relief in comic book movie history. James Gunn's Superman was such a fun ride from beginning to end and gave me hope in this new chapter of the DCU. Does it maybe do too much? Sure. Can it be a little too reliant on jokes? Maybe. But the action is so much fun, the story balances itself out really well and takes a lot of interesting swings. The characters are all interesting and have great rapport. Most of the humor works without feeling intrusive. The actors are all pitch perfect. It's just an all-around great time. I can see how people have been getting tired of the James Gunn formula, and yeah, not everything he's done recently has been perfect. But considering this had the most riding on it, to see it do so well is so satisfying. I'm excited to see what the rest of the DCU on film has in store, so long as Netflix doesn't do anything stupid. Wake Up Dead Man. This movie squeezed in at the last minute and absolutely earned a place on this list. I need to rewatch the other Knives Out movies back to back to get a clear opinion, but I can understand and even agree with the argument that this is the best of the three. It's a genuinely intriguing mystery. The story does a great job exploring aspects of religion and faith and how it can affect you in different ways. It has a deliciously twisted sense of humor. It has a lot of intensity. It has a stellar ensemble with Josh Brolin and Josh O'Connor both giving Oscar-worthy performances. And the movie looks gorgeous. The framing, the cinematography, the colors. I'm honestly kind of pissed that this didn't get a wider theatrical release. Everybody, can we get a fuck Netflix in the comments, please? Regardless, Rian Johnson has delivered another banger, and I can't wait to see what he does next. Bring Her Back. Another disturbing outing from the Philippo brothers, and I honestly might like this more than Talk to Me. It balances out the humor with the drama really effectively. The themes it touches on are genuinely touching and compelling. The acting across the board is fantastic. The cinematography is very eerie and chilling. And the movie is very brutal and visceral. It's not often I wince or get genuinely freaked out by things in horror movies, but there were a few moments, mainly involving biting, that made me almost look away from the screen. It was such a great movie, and knowing how these guys started, it's so great to see them have two fantastic features under their belt. And I'm very much looking forward to their deathmatch documentary when that comes out. If I had legs, I'd kick you. Every year, there is always a movie that comes out that just feels like a cinematic panic attack, and this movie was exactly that. It just keeps you in this state of uncomfortableness the whole time, both emotionally and physically. Keeping the camera on the mom and forcing you to view all these situations through her eyes makes everything feel so much more intense and horrifying. There are so many parallels you can draw from the situation, from postpartum to abortion to general anxiety, and they all feel like valid interpretations in their own way. The acting is stellar, the visuals feel very cerebral, it's very gripping and very stressful to watch. This isn't one I'd recommend to everyone, but if it piques your interest, it's worth checking out, just at your own discretion. Sinners. Sometimes, when it comes to picking a number one for these best of lists, the obvious choice is the best choice. This movie came out in April, and when I walked out of it, I thought, yep, this is the best movie of the year. And 8 months later, no other movie has topped it. You can see the passion oozing out of the screen from every aspect of the movie. The acting, the visuals, the writing, the soundtrack. This year has been filled with villain songs going exceptionally hard, and I love it. The movie has a nice slow build that never feels boring. The characters are so compelling, everything feels so real, and you can see the turmoil, but also the pride going on. I do agree that they should have kept the horror elements out of the trailers so that the second half would be more of a surprise. But even when you know that stuff is coming, it's still awesome to see. The action, the gore, the suspense, it's all so great. More than anything, this movie feels like a celebration of culture, music, filmmaking. You watch it and you're just in awe that any of this was made. It's a huge win for Ryan Coogler, and it's an undeniable instant classic. Sinners is hands down the best movie of 2025. And that does it for this video and finishes off MCD Reviews Season 8. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of my list? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are some of your favorite movies from this year? Let me know all that stuff down below. Again, thank you to everyone who has tuned into this channel this year. I greatly appreciate it, whether you watched me once and hated what I had to say, or you saw one of my videos and liked it, or you stuck around long enough and subscribed. Whatever the case may be, just genuinely thank you all so much. I greatly appreciate it. A couple of things before I wrap up. Traditionally, I like to give myself a month off in January to sort of recoup and relax and everything like that, and give myself some time to prep some stuff in advance. This year, for 2026, that hiatus will probably be a bit longer for quite a few reasons. The biggest one being I kind of burnt myself out with this 2 videos a week upload challenge that I gave for myself. I don't know in what universe I thought that that was going to be feasible. And like I said in the last video, even with the amount of breaks that I took and days that I missed and everything like that, the fact that I stayed as relatively consistent as I did, for me just being one person, is impressive, and I am proud of myself for it. But those of you that, you know, are on YouTube and are doing it like properly and have an upload schedule, you will know firsthand that Christ is it grueling, and it is a very easy way to burn yourself out. Yeah, I don't want to put myself through that again. Like, this is first and foremost a hobby for me, and I want to get back to treating it like a hobby. Not to say that I'm going to take like super long breaks in between uploads. Not to say that this hiatus is going to last forever, but it will be longer than a month, probably like 3.5 to 4 months. Like best guess. That's what I want, at least. On top of that, I've also just been generally neglecting aspects of my own life, and I don't want to say that the YouTube channel is, has been the cause of that. It's been a factor, certainly, but it's not been the main cause. A lot of that has just been me, feeling sort of stuck and unmotivated and just kind of in a cycle of complacency recently, and I need to get out of that, and I want to take these first few months of the year to sort of work on myself a little bit and try to pull myself out of that and work on some things that have needed to be worked on for a while. But also the biggest reason why I want to take some extra time off is because I want to give myself enough time to prep a lot of videos in advance. I'm not using this time to just sit around and twiddle my thumbs and do nothing. I am going to be working on stuff for season 9 and also season 10, which I know you guys are probably wondering what that will entail, which you'll find out sooner or later. But yeah, I want to make sure that I have enough time to make stuff that I'm proud of and that hopefully you guys will enjoy. So until then, thank you guys again for watching. I greatly appreciate it if you stuck around this long. I hope you all have a happy holidays, a happy new year. Take care of yourselves, check in on your loved ones, remind people in your life that you care about them, and just stay safe. The world is going crazy right now, and we all just need to look out for each other and look out for ourselves. So, but yeah, other than that, be sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date when I'm posting. Follow me on my social media, subscribe to my main channel. Everything you need to know will be in the description. Thank you guys for watching. Have a happy and safe new year, and I'll see you later.